Welcome, everyone. Today's August 1st. This is the SIG Instrumentation biweekly meeting. We have two things on our agenda. The first thing is we need to go through pending KEPs to see which ones we need to advance. And the other one is prawn choose Prometheus adapter deprecation. So first, we have metrics anomaly detector. How is this coming?
Um, yeah, so we I think we talked about this a while back when this was still in its initial phases. But I think it's basically done. I think so I had to kind of change my efforts towards KSM version 3. Um, but it's good to go. There's just I think some final changes we need to make, but before that, I think it needs a review on the enhancement, but yeah, um, in the
Okay,
hindsight, I think this should be good
so
to
we'll
go.
we'll try to ship it for alpha this time.
Yeah, yeah,
Uh, so the plan, I think what we should do, there's a SIG cluster lifecycle meeting next week. I don't know if it's on your calendar, but it is on mine. And it is at 9 o'clock in the morning on Tuesdays. Um, so I'm going to bring up the topic of upgrades to them because right now, like Cube ADM doesn't have. What do you guys use for your upgrade machinery in Red Hat? Do you guys use Cube ADM?
yeah, I think so.
Okay.
Um, yeah,
So
I
I'm going to ask about Cube ADM doesn't actually have upgrade tests.
yeah, we just monitor, but we don't have anything I think solid as of now. It's just a bunch of I think house-grown solutions. But yeah, I would
Like
need to look.
upstream, there's no upgrade tests. So I was going to bring that up in the next SIG cluster lifecycle meeting, and then I was going to see if they were interested in like adopting the anomaly detector into the cluster lifecycle, because then you could check the health of the cluster between steps of an upgrade, right? Which
Yeah,
is something you want to do, because otherwise you just break the cluster during an upgrade. So I'm going to throw that on the cluster lifecycle agenda. We can talk about it then. So that's good that we're getting into alpha.
um,
Contextual logging, that's being driven by Patrick, I think. That's probably in decent hands. So the tracing ones are going to GA. What about cardinality enforcement?
yeah, it's done. I think they so everything's done from our end. I've updated everything for 131 and it's being tracked right now. This should be completed as of this milestone.
Okay,
There's
so it's
still
done.
yeah, there's nothing to be done here.
Okay, so we should update these.
Yeah, I wasn't able to edit the
Oh,
description
is this
from
done? Do you have the code? Oh,
yeah.
I put this under the wrong. These are yeah. If you give me the code links, I can update this. Yeah, you can send it to me later on Slack or something, and I can just update it. Okay. Um, and then we have structured logging, which is also Patrick, I think. Uh, we are also doing the Z pages proposal. I think Richard took it to SIG architecture. The review was positive. People had some concerns about the HTML output because of Kubernetes dashboard security incident a while back. If you remember that, we had like privilege escalation or like what was it? Cross-site scripting vulnerabilities, and we've had all sorts of things with the dashboard. So people are not fond of HTML output for the Z pages, so we might just start the alpha with text-based only. so that you can just curl the endpoint and avoid all the dashboard fiasco nonsense stuff that happened.
So this
But
would be in line with what we talked about, right? There would be a bunch of different formats. I think at least
we're
JSON.
gonna start. We're gonna start with just text.
Okay.
So the problem with JSON is if you make it structured, people are going to depend on it as an API. And then you have to have stability guarantees.
Right.
So if we have to have stability guarantees, then all of the Z pages need to be versioned. So it becomes more complicated. So I don't want to introduce like structured formats until we decide we have something that we are seriously considering preserving for the long term. If that makes sense.
Yeah.
So yeah, Richard with this architecture, they basically were cool with the idea. They liked it. They just had reservations about the formats. So we're gonna just start with text based. I'll have Richa open an issue. She's gonna have a one pager with the exact pages, and then we might have someone else on our team work on some other Z pages. So there might be a couple more smaller caps here coming up in the next few weeks. Okay, so the next thing is Prometheus adapter deprecation.
Yeah. So this is something that so I wish Damien was here because he had some context from like previous calls, but I believe um that Prometheus adapter was basically just maintained because OpenShift was a big you know um contributor and we were using it, but now that it's deprecated and we have moved to Matrix Server, I just wanted to kind of fund this issue again if we are considering deprecating it because it's essentially the same thing as Matrix Server, but without Prometheus dependency. So I get that people might be using it, in which case it's definitely fine to just keep maintaining it. But because we also have um, a lack of maintenance space there, so I was considering if we were open to it.
I'm okay with deprecating it. Uh, is anyone on the call using it? We're using
Yes.
it?
Yeah, Google use it for the
Oh,
metrics.
then I guess we can't deprecate it.
This is the thing we get pinged about once a month,
Oh, is this the security thing that they want
where they
patched?
want to update things.
I've been approving their CLs.
Yes, we may want to see if they're interested in maintaining it. Otherwise, deprecate
Okay,
it.
let's see if the security team wants to own this. So let's put this on hold. Action item 1B to find owners.
I have one question. So if we deprecate it, what's the alternative for this one?
There's no alternative, I don't think.
Yeah,
Metric Server, right?
No, metric
mesh
server,
server.
but
Yeah,
it has to.
different.
Um,
You're muted, Han. Oh, Han.
Okay. The last thing is, this is not on the agenda, but I feel like there has been some progress in sharding out the CRD stuff from KSM.
Yeah, so I'm currently working on the operator that we talked about. I think so. I'm not sure if I should kind of have a proposal first, just so everyone is on the same page, or I was kind of I thought it was better to have a POC, a working POC that I can show with the proposal. So that's what I was working on currently, and I also kind of researched the cell stuff, and if we were able to generate resources with it. So for most of the native ones, we are, absolutely fine with cell. So I think it's a safe bet, and um, I think the main thing we need to figure out is to have it in a configuration that doesn't that is scalable. Basically, it's we ran into the same problem with the CRS config, and we definitely don't want this to happen with the cell config. So we don't want a bunch of special fields that have some side effects, which just ends up creating more special fields. So formulating that is the main, I think, the primary brainstorming area that we need to focus on. But as far as the bet on cell goes and the POC goes, it's all going smooth for now.
Cool. Yeah, I actually like to do POCs before I write the doc too. It's well, it helps you flesh out all the issues and you kind of know the material a little bit better, so you can describe the situation a little bit more readily. Um, awesome. Then, do we have like a projection for when we might be able to talk more about it, or?
So I was hoping to kind of just keep the metrics anomaly thing in the background for now and move with the version 3 POC first. And in the same time, I could ping David Eads, and gather some feedback on the metrics anomaly. Because you might remember, you pinged David, and I kind of never got a word from him. So I was thinking maybe I should just try that internally.
Yeah, I
David,
pinged him about it, but I don't think he needs to approve it or anything because it's going to go in cluster lifecycle, which he does not own.
yeah, I was wondering, like, something in general, someone internally that could, or from Google, or someone who could just take a look, and because I don't know for sure if we have something internally that kind of works right now that we should
Oh,
push
yeah.
for
Okay.
and
You should double
stream.
check. You should double check. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, but I think to reiterate, I was focusing more on KSM version 3 for now than the metrics anomaly, but I could, realign my priorities if that's what's
No,
needed.
yeah, you should do what you think is best. I'll circle around with metrics anomaly detector with cluster lifecycle, and we'll see. We'll gauge their interest. I'm pretty sure they want it because upgrade testing doesn't exist, and if we're going to do upgrade testing, we should do it with the metrics anomaly detector too. It's cluster lifecycle. They're going to want this stuff for like cops and all the other things too. Okay, cool. I think that's it for the agenda. Is there anything else people wanted to talk about today? All right, cool. Then everyone gets 12 minutes back. Thanks everyone for attending today. Bye.